There's two or three. One is social, the second is content, and then another is slightly different. It's the rising importance of the corporate brand to marketeers, and marketeers wanting to take the corporate brand to the consumer, which is a really interesting area, and it's bringing together two disciplines that have always operated very, very separately. On the social side, I think we're seeing PR having sort of got into blogging and influencer relations in the digital space. I think we're seeing PR people really getting to grips with an always-on kind of culture. But even PR's having to change because our normal stock-in-trade product was words, and PR people are having to change to develop content that is visual, or rather everything from visual stuff to apps to games. And then on the content side, I think PR people are having to get used to the idea that it's not just good enough to have an idea and an idea that might fly in a newspaper, but an idea that's going to fly in social media requires a different type of creativity. So I think there's a lot of really interesting, rich trends that are bringing new talent into the industry and making it a very exciting time for us. Do I think that PR agencies are going to start doing TVCs? No. Do I think that marketeers are looking for content that works in a social space rather than a TVC space? Yes. Are all agencies trying to do that and adapt their business models to do it? Absolutely. But based on the fact that I've worked at 3 or 4 pretty big PR agencies, I think that there is a unique space for PR people in content creation, which is around 2 or 3 things. One is clients are looking not for copy, they're looking for brand journalism now. They're not looking for taglines, they're looking for headlines. And I've sat in meetings with clients in the last 5 years where I've seen marketeers turn to PR people to write copy that's more authentic in their view. So that's one aspect. I think there's also the speed of the creation of the content. Kids, teens, people in their 20s don't care about the quality of the content from a visual perspective. It doesn't all have to be filmic. What they want is really authentic stuff that generates conversations, that makes them want to share stuff. And to be honest, I think that's open game for any discipline. It doesn't matter whether you've got media agencies can do that as much as digital, as much as social, as PR, as traditional advertising people. I do think at Ogilvy we've got a chance to do this really well because I'm very, very lucky. When my clients want content, I can pull in a creative director, and I can pull in a planner, and I can pull in someone who really understands the visual medium, and I can give them very high quality PR answers. The issue is the price point is different. It's not about $1 million sort of TVC. It's about 50 2-minute YouTube videos. It's a very different proposition. We are, as a PR discipline, we're growing very fast in Europe, and not just in the emerging markets like South Africa, where we're number 2 in this marketplace, but also in what are currently seen as sort of low growth markets like the UK. And I think part of the reason for that is that we're at Ogilvy where people are valuing earned media, and we are moving into taking parts of the media budget, not just fighting for the PR budget. In general terms, the PR budget is about 15% of the overall budget. The rest of the disciplines, the media budget's 85%. So, our strategy is to go after more of the media budget, but also continue to compete for the PR budget. So we're seeing growth. There's plenty of money around in terms of winning market share, and I think there is money moving deliberately into digital and social, and that's benefiting the earned media disciplines.